Jasmine, maybe you can read?
Yes, I will.
Okay, go ahead. The status he reaches. Once we'll do the whole thing. There's a small para in the end. We will finish that also. And then we will discuss it.
The
Go,
state that
go
he
ahead.
reaches is the Brahmic condition. He gets to firm standing in the Brahman, Brahmi Shrishti. It is a reversal of the whole view, experience, knowledge, values, scenes of earth-bound creatures. This life of the dualities, which is to them their day, their waking, their consciousness, their bright condition of activity and knowledge, is to him a night, a troubled sleep and darkness of the soul. That higher being, which is to them a night, a sleep in which all knowledge and will cease, is to the self-mastering sage his waking, his luminous day of true being, knowledge and power. They are troubled and muddy waters disturbed by every little inrush of desire. His is an ocean of wide being and consciousness, which is ever being filled, yet ever motionless in its large poise of its soul. All the desires of the world enter into him as waters into the sea. Yet he has no desire nor is troubled. For while they are filled with the troubling sense of ego and mine and thine, he is one of the one self in all and has no I or mine. He acts as others, but he has abandoned all desire and their longing. He attains to the great peace and is not bewildered by the shows of things. He has extinguished his individual ego in the One, lives in the unity and, fixed in that status at his end, can attain to extinction in the Brahman, Nirvana. Not the negative self annihilation of the Buddhists, but the great emergence of the separate personal self into the vast reality of the one infinite personal existence.
Impersonal.
Such, such subtly unifying Sankhya, Yoga, and Vedanta is the first foundation of the teaching of the Gita. It is far from being all, but it is the first indispensable practical unity of knowledge and works, with a hint already of the third crowning incessant element in the soul's completeness, divine love and devotion.
Yeah. Okay. Even Swayam has used the word third crowning intensity. That is why I use always the three terms: level one, level two, level three. Swayam himself is using the levels, okay, in a very guarded manner. So let's have a look at this para, what he's saying. By the way, this is chapter 2 in the Gita, and the verses are 48, 49, 50, 51. Okay. योगस्य कुरु कर्माणि संगम त्यक्त्वा धनंजय सिद्धि असिद्धयोः समो भूत्वा samatvam yoga uchyate. Samatvam is absolutely this is what he's saying. So we'll look at what is meaning and we'll spend a little time because it's something so different from our normal consciousness that we need to have a fairly clear, at least a mental idea, even if not an experience. Okay? So the status he reaches is the Brahmic condition. So the status, note the word status, it is something which is static. The word status can also mean a level. Okay, there are levels and levels of in everything there are levels. So, but this is also there is a suggestion of a static condition because when you are identified, okay, I'll make a very specific. It's a repetition, but it stands a repetition. Level one, you are identified with your body, mind, life. You think that this is what you are. You are not conscious of your soul or yourself. You are not conscious at all. Okay, you are identified fully with your body, mind, life, and you see the physical world and all the forms, and you think they are real. This is level 1, and it is the mark of ignorance. Okay, and your mind has to struggle to understand things. This is level 1. But out of the sadhana that you do, many types of sadhanas, you can disengage your real self, your psychic being. It can come out of the body-mind life, which is a prison. It's a prison. And you come out of that prison and you stand outside your body-mind life. That is the Brahmic Sthiti. Brahmi Sthiti. Okay, even Sthiti is the status. Okay, so from the root stha means to stand, okay, and be settled. Okay, so what is the nature of this Brahmi Sthiti? It is a consciousness. It's a consciousness which is static. In our world, at level 1, where all the time our thoughts are moving, our emotions are also going on changing, our body position also is going on moving. Even if your body is absolutely still and quiet, which is not very easy, okay. I have seen some Japanese people once in meditation in the ashram, in the playground. He was absolutely immobile for half an hour. The body was immobile. Even if your body is immobile, your vital is not. It is very, very mobile. It's going on having different emotions. And your mind, most difficult of all. Constantly new thoughts are coming into the mind. So this is the normal condition of man. It is not a status. It's a dynamism. It is constantly moving. But dynamic also is not a right word. Mobile is a right word, because these are useless thoughts and useless movements. They are wasted energy. Okay. So this is the normal level 1. But when you go to level 2, your consciousness is now absolutely stable, and you are in a consciousness which is absolutely static. You feel yourself to be infinite. You feel yourself to be free, because your consciousness is outside the body-mind life. And you are completely without emotion and without thought. Your consciousness is absolutely static. And you are looking down upon your own body-mind life and seeing that it is constantly moving. The mind is continuing to have thoughts. The vital is continuing to have emotions. Your body may or may not be moving, but you are outside and you are just watching. Okay, this is the Brahmic Sthiti. But it is a reversal of consciousness. That which was moving has become now static. There is no movement. That which was identified with form has now become formless. Okay, you are without a form. Then further down he explains what is formlessness. Then in the physical mind you are seeing all finite things. Okay, but when you enter the Brahmi Sthiti, you feel yourself to be infinite. You are absolutely without form and you are infinite. Your ego disappears and you feel yourself to be also, you have existed. You also realize your immortality, because you are now identified with the self. And the self also, you can use different words. You must have a clear idea of what this condition is. It is called self in English. It is Atman, or it is also the Brahman, Brahmic Sthiti, or you can also call it the Buddhists call it Nirvana. Why? Because all those things which you are seeing as real now gets blown out. In the Buddhistic philosophy, the same thing is called Nirvana. Nirva. You are blowing out the reality of the physical world. The world is no more real to you. It can be absolutely illusion, or it can be only moving forms. It depends on your condition. Each individual will experience the Brahmic Sthiti in a different way. Okay. So this is what the Brahmic Sthiti is. You can call it Brahman consciousness. You can call it witness consciousness, Sakshi, and you can also call it Atman. It's the same thing, whatever it is. You are not identified with your body-mind life, very clear. So everything is the opposite. That's why Sri Ramdu and Mother both use the word. It's a reversal of consciousness. All the values of level 1 are reversed. The finite becomes infinite. The temporary becomes permanent. The movement becomes non-movement. The realities of the physical world now become unreality. Okay, so that's why it is a complete reversal of consciousness. Mother describes that sometimes as Making a ball, the inside must come out and the out must come in. Okay. So, because that also is true, because at our level, we feel that we are in the cosmos. We feel that I am part of the cosmos and I am in the cosmos. But at that time, you may feel that the cosmos is within you. Okay. Again, another reversal. Absolutely opposite. If you see some of those sonnets, you will see that the largest stars in the universe are burning within me. That's a cosmic consciousness. Okay. So that is what the Gita is talking about. The status he reaches is the Brahmic condition. He gets to firm standing in the Brahman. Firm standing. Again, the word suggests no movement at all in the Brahman. Brahmi Sthiti. It's a reversal of the whole view. There you are, he is explaining. It's a reversal. Everything, all the values in level 1 become now absolutely level 2, completely different. The finite becomes infinite, the movement becomes static, okay? And then the forms that you are seeing in the physical world is real, they become unreal, okay? Everything is opposite. It's a reversal of the whole view. Experience, knowledge, values, seeings of earthbound creatures. Because what you thought was earthbound creatures, now you see that the divine presence is there everywhere. This life of the dualities. So again, we come back to the idea of the dualities. At level 1, there are dualities. If there is light, there is darkness. If there is good, there is evil. If there is generosity, there is also miserliness. Okay. If there is selfishness, there is also generosity. All these things are the dualities. And why are the dualities there at the lowest level? Again, we have to go back to the one becoming the many. At the highest level, there's only one reality, God. You can call it Satchidananda, you can call it God, you can call it eternal principle, whatever you want. Okay? And that is one. But that becomes the many. And when it becomes the many, again we say that it creates infinitely. It does not create only a small range. Okay. So suppose he is creating light. Okay. He is not creating only 100 watts and 500 watts. He is creating 0 watt and he's 5,000 watts. So it goes on both sides. It becomes negative and positive. And if it is negative and positive, you have opposites. They are not really opposite, but that's the dualities in the physical world. But when you go to the Brahmic Sthiti, the level 2, the dualities disappear. They appear to you as the same thing in two different poles. Darkness is nothing but light which has reduced itself. Okay? The love and hate which are there in the physical world, love has reduced itself and become the opposite of itself. So you see the oneness of things in level 2, but they seem to be two poles of the same thing. Then towards the end, Srimad is talking of the third level. Okay, he is talking of the third crowning intensest movement, that is the supermind. So when you go to the supermind, all these things become perfectly harmonized and they are not opposites anymore, nor are they even complementary aspects. They are the same thing. Okay, so it's a reversal of the whole view, experience, knowledge, values, seeing of earthbound creature. This life of the duality, level 1, which is to them their day, their waking, their consciousness, their bright condition of activity and knowledge, is to him a night, a troubled sleep, and darkness of the soul. This is a very interesting one. Chapter 2, verse 69 and 70. So 69 and 70, it goes like this, very interesting. Ya nisha sarva bhutanam tasyam jagarti samyami yasyam jagrati bhutani sa nisha pashyato mune. So what it means is, for us in our normal consciousness of level 1, level 2 is, it doesn't exist for us, it is a sleep. It is something totally different. But for the one who is awakened in level 2, he is seeing everything. The physical world becomes like a non-existence, so it becomes a sleep. So what is sleep for us? Level 2, the spiritual consciousness is asleep for us because we don't experience it. We are waking. But to the one who is Pashyato Mune, the Muni who is seeing things in the right way, for him, that which is darkness for us is light for him. And that which is light for us, the physical world, is actually a sleep because it becomes unreal. That's what he's saying. Okay, so these are the chapter 2, verse 69 and 70. Okay. Then I go to the next sentence. This is the self-mastering. That higher being, which is a night, a sleep in which all knowledge will and see. By the way, this is very interesting. Even there is a Russian scientist who settled in England. His name was Gurdjieff. Okay, and he says the same thing. He says, man, when he thinks he's awakened, he's actually sleeping spiritually. And when he goes to the spiritual level, then he realizes that, my God, this is the real consciousness. And I was sleeping in the physical world when I thought I was awake. I was actually sleeping spiritually. So that's it. That's why it's a reversal of consciousness. Okay. So the luminous day of the true being, knowledge and power. They are troubled and muddy waters, disturbed by every little inrush of desire. That's our normal condition. Whenever there is a little desire, it can disturb you, and it is interesting, it can disturb you with enjoyment, but it can also disturb you with non-enjoyment. Okay, that also can happen. Even enjoyment at our level is a disturbance. The calm waters, the desire enters, and the waters get disturbed. Okay, that's what it is described. They are troubled and muddy waters, disturbed by every little inrush of desire. So if you want your waters in your being to be absolutely static, calm, transparent and clear and deep, then don't have desires. That's it. Not easy, but that's the way it has to be done. He is an ocean. Who is an ocean? The one who is absolutely calm and quiet. He is an ocean of wide being and consciousness, which is ever being filled, yet ever motionless in this large poise of his soul. This is verse 70. I'll read that out and we'll look at what is being said. Okay, it's a very interesting image. Just like Sri Aurobindo's texts and poetry is full of images. Okay, because that's the only way you can express things which cannot be expressed in language. Okay, the truth comes through in images, which is ever being filled. Okay, he is an ocean of wide being and consciousness, which is ever being filled, yet ever motionless in its large poise of the soul. Okay, so the verse goes like this: Apuryamanam achalam pratishtham samudramapa pravishanti yadvat tad vat kama yam pravishanti sarve sa shantim apnoti na kama kami. The one who is desireful, he cannot get the shanti. He cannot get the. But a man who is in the Brahmi sthiti, he is like a vast ocean. And the rivers that come into him, which are the desires, it's an image. When the rivers come into the sea is so large that it doesn't get disturbed. It just absorbs and makes it part of the sea. So it doesn't get disturbed at all. It remains exactly the sea as it was. If a small river comes into it, it makes no difference to the ocean. Exactly in the same way, when desires enter the body-mind life, your consciousness is absolutely static, doesn't get disturbed. That's what he's saying. The ocean which is being full, Apuryamana, it is being fulfilled. It makes no difference to him. He's absolutely static. The desires and all that. Yes, tell me.
No, how do you feel, how can you describe the difference between not feeling and sometimes you feel that you are not feeling at all? So it is a negative feeling also, no, sometimes.
Tarika, what you are saying is, what is being described here is rising to level 2. What you may be saying is, sometimes you are affected by the desire, sometimes you are not affected because the desire is not very strong enough. That's not what is being spoken of in the Gita. There's a reversal of consciousness. You are saying negative and positive condition, but Even if you are little bit, okay, sometimes a desire comes in, but it doesn't bother you. That is not what is being spoken of. Okay, it's a totally different condition. It is
Mm.
so
Yeah,
different that it
but
will.
for us to understand when you are going through it, for us to understand whether it is this or that, how do you discriminate?
Yeah,
Sometimes you
okay.
feel that you have become completely an ice. Nothing bothers you, nothing matters to you.
Okay, only by experience, Sarika. Only by experience. Okay, you have to. But desires can be of very different types. Desires can be violent, and then they disturb you. Okay, but desires can be also what Swamdo calls in English. We have the word velleity. It's a very mild desire. It doesn't bother you too much, but still, when it enters you, you ignore it. But that's not the state being spoken of in the Gita. You are absolutely motionless. It's a truth. And you will not ask the question if you have the experience. I remember once someone asked mother in the class, Mother, how do I know whether my psychic is in front or not? Mother says, if you have the experience, you will not ask the question. It is something opposite. It is so different that the question will not be asked. Okay? So you'll be 100% sure of what is the different condition because it is so different. Night becomes day and day becomes night. Okay? It's not an evening or the morning. It's not twilight. It's a total light or total darkness. Our condition is a total darkness. So when you go to light, then you will not question. You will understand, oh, this is what the Gita spoke about. Okay? So that's it. It's totally different. That's why it's called a reversal. It's not a
But
mild.
Rangada,
Yeah, tell me.
but Rangada, this Brahmi sthiti, is it permanent or it comes in flashes?
It can come in the beginning as experience. That means only flashes. And then if it goes on coming, goes on coming, goes on coming, it has to become permanent. The Gita is speaking about the permanent condition.
Permanent.
Even first Sri when he had the experience of the silent mind in Baroda, okay, he was finding it difficult to apply it in the physical world. And he had to repeatedly bring back that condition and apply it in the physical world. Because the physical world, the gravitational pull of the lower nature, the body mind life, keeps pulling you down, keeps pulling the consciousness down. Okay? It's not very easy for it to remain static in that upper condition. Okay? This is what happens. So,
But
in the
what?
beginning, yeah, tell me.
No, about the emotional being. No, how should
Huh.
it? How should it behave? The emotional being. Sometimes you feel emotionless, and so you don't know how to handle your emotional being. No.
Remember that in that consciousness, you are watching. Your consciousness has gone out of the body and you are watching. Remember that your body mind life is a machine and you will see your body mind life acting like a machine. Okay? It's like a car. You are sitting in the car and you are manipulating the car, but you have the power to manipulate the car. But in the Brahmic city, there is no manipulation. The car is going on by itself. Okay? Thoughts are entering your mind, the emotions are entering your vital, the body is moving on its own. You are doing nothing, you're just watching it. You are the witness, Sakshi. What does the word Sakshi mean? You're not involved in your body mind life, you're just watching it. Okay, that's what happens. Mechanically, the body mind life goes on. This is a machine. And because it's a machine, your soul is trapped in the machine. There's no freedom when you are in your body mind life. But when you come out, you're free. That's why they call it moksha. Okay? Moksha, liberation. You are released from the prison of body mind life. So you are just watching. You are absolutely, your consciousness is calm. Sometimes it happens that your body mind life is something totally different from you. That's the first experience. But slowly you realize that there is a connection. Okay, then you can, to a certain extent, control your body mind life. There's a thin cord, and it can also happen that part of your consciousness is there in the Brahmi Sthiti, and part of your consciousness, not much, but it is also there in the body. Okay? It can happen. There are all sorts of possibilities are there in the spiritual field. There is no one this way or that way. There can be many combinations. So, but the Gita's description of the Brahmacity is very clear. It's a total change. So total that you won't ask a question. You will know automatically that you are in the consciousness of the self. Okay. And this consciousness can come, it's very interesting. It can come for a short while. It can come for 2 months, 3 months. It can come for 6 months. I know of people who have had it for about 6 months. Then slowly the experience goes back and you are back in your old habits of body, of vital and of mind. Okay, this can happen. But if you are settled permanently in the Brahmacity, then it's called a realization and not an experience. It's a realization. I know of somebody who even had it for 2 hours. Okay? For 2 hours, they felt that everything in the physical world has no importance at all. And I am absolutely calm and peaceful. The clothes I am wearing, the food I am eating, the worries that I had earlier have absolutely no value at all. You are completely cut away from the body-mind life. Then you have no doubt. It is something so fantastic that the person who had this told me, okay, that it makes no difference. And I asked her, how long did it take you? How long did it stay? She said about 2 hours. So it can happen for 2 hours. It can happen for 6 months. It can happen permanently. Tarika, you're saying something?
No. I was coughing. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah. Your picture got the blue frame. So when you talk, the blue frame comes up. I thought you were saying something.
No.
Okay. So let's, we have got 15 minutes more. We'll try and finish the chapter. So very clear. If you are in that condition, even the desires coming in, other people's praise and insult all coming in, but it leaves you absolutely without any effect. Normally when someone praises you, you are happy, and someone insults you, you are hurt. Okay, but in this condition, nothing. The hurt and the happiness may be there in the body-mind life, but not in your consciousness. Your consciousness is outside. Okay, so that's what is being described. Yet, so I read that last one. They are troubled and muddy waters for the normal man, okay, disturbed by every little inrush of desire. But the other man, he is an ocean of wide being and consciousness, which is ever being filled. Your body-mind life is constantly receiving impacts from the physical world, yet ever motionless in its large poise of his soul. All the desires of the world enter into him as waters into the sea, yet he has no desire nor is troubled. For while they are filled with the troubling sense of ego and mine and thine, okay, mine and yours is the ego, he is one with the one self in all, and he has no I or mine. The sense of I and mine disappears. He acts as others. But he has abandoned all desires and their longings. He attains to the great peace. Great peace, not simply the normal peace that we find. It's not that. It's a great peace, permanent peace, and is not bewildered by the shows of things. So what are the shows of things? The forms of things in the physical world. They are only shows. They are not realities. He has extinguished his individual ego in the one, lives in that unity, and fixed in that status at his end, can attain to extinction in the Brahman, Nirvana. Not the negative self-annihilation of the Buddhists, but the great emergence of the separate personal self into the vast reality of the one infinite impersonal existence. Now, this last bit we have to understand. When you rise into the Brahmacity, there are two conditions possible. Either your ego disappears in both cases, but your true individuality may remain. Okay? And the true individuality remaining, then you will know that you are in the Brahmic city. But for the Buddhists, even that true individuality must disappear. Okay? You become the infinite ocean. You become the infinite ocean. There's no more any personality. That is what it means. That is a nirvana. So that's an extinction. So I'm just calling it negative self-annihilation. But for the ones who is, for Srimdo's path, you are conscious that you are an individual, but that individual is not any limited to any form in space and time. It has become infinite. Again, to make that clear to yourself, we go back to that image. Images are very useful. Okay, you are not the grain of salt with a fixed color, shape, size, weight. You have become the saltiness in the ocean. You become wide. You are there everywhere. Okay, that saltiness is there everywhere. That's the impression that you get. So there are two types of things. One is the total annihilation. Everything becomes disappeared altogether, and you are the infinite, impersonal infinite. But the other one, the great emergence of the separate personal self. So these three words, what does it mean? Separate personal self is the ego. That disappears, okay? It vanishes into the vast reality of the one infinite impersonal existence. So the two types of Srivanda prefers the one that you are conscious and you know that you are the individual, but the individual has now become universalized. So that brings us to the last small para of the chapter. Such subtly unifying Sankhya, Yoga and Vedanta is the first foundation of the teaching of the Gita. It is far from being all, but it is the first indispensable practical unity of knowledge, okay, and works with a hint already of the third crowning intensest element in the soul's completeness, divine love and devotion. Normally, in the Sankhya philosophy is the philosophy of the Purusha and the Prakriti. The Prakriti disappears and you become the Purusha. Yoga is the path of Raj Yoga. You attain the silence. And Vedanta, there can also be the Ananda and all. So this is the Gita's teaching, that you combine and also have the third crowning. There is love and devotion also. The personal aspect of the divine is also experienced at level 3. So again, it's very useful to think of these levels. Level 1 consists of your body, your vital and your mind, which correspond universal level to matter. The world of matter corresponds to your body. The world of prana, there is a world of prana which is subtler than matter and it is there a little above matter. So that's the world of prana, corresponds to your vital. Then there is the world of thought, the world of capacity to think. That is a world by itself. Their thoughts are possible because the substance there is much thinner. It is thinner than in the physical world. The substance is very thick, like stones. Okay, everything is solid. But in the vital, it is not so solid. It is more like water. It is moving. And finally, in the mind, it becomes even more subtle. Even thoughts are forms, but they are subtle forms, like water vapor, for instance, or clouds. Okay, cloud also is substance, but it can take forms, but there is no solidity. That's a world of thoughts. So this is level 1. Level 2, the substance becomes even thinner and more free. And level 2 usually described as 4 levels: the higher mind, the illumined mind, the intuitive mind, and the overmind. These are the spiritual planes of consciousness where you are at a far, far, far higher level of consciousness than in level 1. You are not, there is no ignorance there. The ignorance begins to disappear. But you go to level 3 and everything, all the opposites, all the dualities get completely harmonized, and there you have power also. You have power and ananda. In level 2, you may have a little bit of power and a little bit of ananda, but not necessarily. Even Sri Aurobindo had no emotion, no ananda at all in the level 2, in the beginning. That came later on. Okay, So that's what Sridhar is speaking about here, 3 levels. So that finishes the yoga of the intelligent will, the Jnana Yoga part. Yeah.
Rangada, one question.
Yeah, tell me.
Here, when you say yoga, is it karma yoga? When you say
No,
Sankhya,
no, 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 no. No, yoga is the Raj Yoga, the path of Jnana Yoga.
Mhm.
And Vedanta includes everything. All right, so that's why the Gita is a synthetic philosophy. It combines Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga will give you love. And Karma Yoga is not to be done in the Jnana Yoga. Okay, they tell you not to go have any action. But if you have action, then you can do Karma Yoga. All your work that you are doing, whatever work, you offer it to the Lord. Then you can put out the nature of the divine.
Yeah. And
You can have-
Vedanta is all 3 yogas, right?
yeah, that's right. Because there is a love of the divine also is there, Ananda also is there. And that's why the Gita is a Vedantic work. Vedanta is a very wide thing. Okay. Vedasya Anta. That's
Hmm.
the Vedanta philosophy. All the Upanishads and the Vedas are all Vedantic. Okay, so that brings us to the end of we have got 5 minutes. So next is works and sacrifice. So that now comes to the Karma Yoga thing. Okay. The yoga of the intelligent will is Jnana Yoga. Intelligent will. Then the next is works and sacrifice. Okay. Where you're not running away from the physical world. And this is necessary because Arjuna is running away from the physical world. He is running away from the action that he has to do. He is telling Krishna, how can I kill my people? I am a Kshatriya, but I don't want to fight. He refuses to be a Kshatriya. So then Sri Krishna has to explain to him that you can continue to do the work that you are doing, but from a higher level. If you go to level 2, then you are not disturbed. And if you are not disturbed, you can do your work perfectly well. That's why in in chapter 2 only, yoga karmasu kaushalam. One may think that if I am concentrated and I am not identified with my body, mind, life, and I don't have desires, it is desire that makes me move and act. But if I don't have any desire, there is no movement possible. You may feel like that, but that's not true. That's what Sri Aurobindo explains, and the Gita also says that. If you offer your work to the divine, then meaning for action also comes. We need not have desire. Normally, at our level, it's true that only desire and attachment will make me move, okay, and make me act. But if I have no desire, I won't act. I'll just sit at home. Okay, so, but that's not true. If you do your actions as an offering to the divine, then there is the one motive is to join to the divine. So then that is the Karma Yoga. Okay, so next is the Karma Yoga sacrifice. The concept of sacrifice is very important in the Gita. When you do a work, whatever work you are doing, karma, do it for the Lord as a sacrifice. Don't do it for yourself. Do it for sacrifice. But the word sacrifice can be misleading because normally you understand the word sacrifice is something very precious to me. I am giving it away either happily or a little unhappiness or unwillingly also I'm giving it away. That is normally what we understand by sacrifice. But here it doesn't mean like that at all. It means offering whatever you are doing, whatever you are thinking, whatever your emotions, everything you are offering to the Lord. So, whatever, the whole being you are offering to the Lord. That is the sacrifice. We'll discuss the sacrifice a little more in detail because that is in chapter 3. All those things are given in the Gita's chapter 3. So we have got only 2 minutes. I think we can stop here today. And I am wishing everybody a good and happy day. Thank you. Guru Maharaj. Hari
Bol.
On your name,
Yes.
Ranganath. Merci. Au revoir.
on name. Yeah, everyone. Au revoir.
Hari
Thank you, Rangada.